thought it would be helpful for you to see what is actually on the market right now in the way of restaurants. First of all, let me show you all categories in Broward. 355. So if someone says, I have to buy something in Broward, they have 355 options sitting right here that are available to them. And these are asking prices, obviously. So we don't know, what they're ultimately going to sell for. Most businesses don't sell. Only 1 out of 5 or 4 listings actually sell. And those are even when it's professionally managed and handled by a full-time business broker like myself. These guys are trying to sell. In the next 12 months, 20-25% of them will actually maybe succeed. So let me just quickly show you. That's Broward. Let me show you restaurants. I want to show you who my competition is going to be. Let's say we have this listing. You elect us to work with you and everything's good. I want to show you we're not the only one trying to sell in Broward. This is restaurants. A lot of these guys are not posting, they're not posting sales, number one, and they're not posting profits. Wow, okay, this first top half, they're closed, or they just don't want to talk about their numbers. But these guys here, so this would be my competition, earning in this price range. But again, these are asking prices. We know how few are selling. Perfect number, 69, only 2 have sold. So there's your ratio right there. How do we get in front of this herd to be seen? Well, the way you do it is you reduce the ratio and you have your best agent, your top agent with your best team. So everyone in the world that's looking would know that it's there. 69 are trying to sell, 2 have sold in a year and a half. And this is all Broward County. That's what we're up against. They're asking this, but we know what they sell for. They don't sell for that as a multiple. So they're going to be sitting and sitting and sitting. And it's sad because they have an investment sitting here. They have money that they put in for equipment and furniture and fixtures and years of their life that they're trying to get back out. But the buyers care about this. They don't want to buy assets. They want to buy the lifestyle. While we want to sell assets, they want to buy a living for their family, and they're only going to give you a certain amount of time to recoup their investment. Let me go back one more. I'm going to show you just Italian. Let's see if there's any Italian restaurants here. And this is the kind of detail I do when I'm on a case. Here's Italian restaurants. Let's see who our direct competitor. Now, this is if they need to buy an Italian restaurant. Their money can buy them anything they want. They could buy a gas station. They could buy a courier business. They could become a realtor. They could do whatever they want. They're asking 2.7 Italian restaurants. There's 4 of them. You and I know, I just showed you, none of them have ever sold as an average. You have your anomaly. They don't sell for 2.7. So they're listing at 2.7, but they're selling at 1.25 in a healthy economy. They're selling at 81% in the last 18 months or so. So somewhere between there, one-timer. So they're overpriced. And if I click on this, I can show you, this is the buyer's BLI. See, this is where they are here, 95 for sale. Broward, this is what they're showing on the tax return. Now, if our profits aren't on the tax return and we're competing against somebody that has money on their tax return, it's going to be a harder sale. They're including 225 in what they're considering value. Now, if they might be saying new value, we have to look at that. But 225, and it's only making 95. They're selling it as an asset sale. Whatever the value of the assets were, that's the value they're putting on it. And here, next one, Italian, pizza, West Broward, turnkey. If you want more information on these, I can certainly tell you who in the Italian restaurant world is considering this. Here's relocation. This guy, he wants 115.90 in assets. But again, these are asking prices. They're not going to sell for higher than what we saw. So you can see why it takes so long sometimes to be on the market, because they ask for a higher multiplier than it should be. They start here. They start for all cash. Look, everybody wants all cash, but they don't get all cash. So why start at all cash? Because the buyers would be more attractive if it was a smaller down payment, and any additional extra that you're really not entitled to or the market usually doesn't pay, then you give a note. I don't recommend doing what they're doing, listing at a 2 times earning. You're going to sit on the market. Thank you. Bye-bye.